never had Miss Mann as a teacher, but she was in my life for quite a few years as the sponsor for Model UN, and during that time, she became unequivocally one of the most important people in my life. She truly just loved and cared about our team so much that she'd give up her mornings, her afternoons, her weekends just so that we'd be able to make it to the next conference. She was always sticking up for us, always fighting for us. She was so proud of us and would take dozens of pictures on the stage whenever we won an award, and then she would hang the awards in her room so that she could show everybody. And I'll always just remember her as this person who supported me, encouraged all of us, and pushed us to be our best, and who literally would have given anything to see her students be successful.
It's hard to condense knowing somebody like Miss Mann into 60 seconds. I think that anybody who was fortunate enough to know her or to be taught by her knew how lively she was. You could tell by the way she talked about history and her travels and the way that she taught her classes how passionate she was about what she did. And while I come out of that class with a bunch of knowledge about world history and a bunch of funny stories, the thing that I think is going to stick with me is to live life like Miss Mann did, to love life like Miss Mann did. And while I'd love to be back in her first period AP World class just one more time, it saddens me the most that other students won't ever get to experience the joy that having Miss Mann as a teacher is. And I know that I'm really going to miss her.
When it comes to fond memories of Miss Mann, there are simply countless. But the ones that really come to mind initially have to do with Model UN, since she was our Model UN sponsor for a very long time. And one of those memories would be when we had a competition in Atlanta. So we had to take the MARTA, a bunch of rides there and back. And I was sitting alone on some of the MARTA rides because everyone had already paired up with somebody to sit with. So Miss Mann sat next to me and kept me company during those rides. And we had such long and wonderful conversations about so many topics: politics, what was going on in the world, family, just so many different topics. And I just really wish that we could go back to that moment and I could sit down and talk with her again just like that. And another fond memory would be when we had a Model UN competition at UGA, and we had just a little bit of time to eat before committee was starting. So Miss Mann, she brought us a bunch of pizza boxes to eat right before, and it was just so nice of her, and she was always so supportive, and I'm going to miss her so much.
Hi, I'm Jim Campbell, and I worked with Patty Mann at Cambridge High School for the past few years. And I really had a lot of fun working with Patty. She was definitely a Cambridge social studies type of person. And I remember, times that, we'd get together for kind of gatherings at different houses of social studies teachers, and Patty was always a lot of fun at those. And during pre-planning this year, to keep from kind of going crazy, she and Sarah Rhodes and I, and sometimes some other teachers, would start walking around. Well, it actually started with Sarah and Patty would walk around the halls, and I'm like, I want to get on this with Sarah and Patty. And now, even now, still, almost the entire department will walk around the hall of the first floor in between classes, and that was the kind of quintessential Patty Mann moment.
Hi, my name is Tri, and I had Miss Mann for AP World History my sophomore year of high school. She was a lively human being who loved all different kinds of cultures. And my favorite memory of being in Miss Mann's class was when she had me play the violin while the entire class sang the song she made up for us to memorize the Chinese dynasties. My favorite memory. I love you, Miss Mann, and I know I'll see you sometime soon later.
Hi, I'm Ira, and I was Miss Mann's student, and she was our Model UN sponsor for 3 years. So I just wanted to share a couple memories from Model UN. So once a year, we'd have a really big conference at a college campus, and we would need to get driven from committee session to hotel. So we would all load up in Miss Mann's car, we'd fight for shotgun, and whenever we got in there, she'd just tell us whatever we wanted to know. So we used to ask about her college experiences, her family, and it was just so interesting to hear about her life. And likewise, we would feel so comfortable and willing to share about our lives. We used to tell her about our conferences, people we were talking to, our grades, our teachers. Even at school, her room was such a safe place for me and so many others. I would turn that corner and keep my head up so I could say hi to Miss Mann and come in. And I always knew if I had a bad day, she'd have a jelly bean for me, and I know that was the case for a lot of us. Miss Mann taught me empathy, and she taught me to care about other people, and she's taught all of us so much, more than world history, and I know we're gonna miss her all so much.
What I've realized in the past couple days is how hard it is to encapsulate how vibrant and electric Miss Mann was. But I think something that made her stand out was she was never the teacher who told us to hush or be quiet when we were fooling around and laughing during class. She was the one who instigated the laughter. She made everything a lot less daunting, in all honesty, because I think we spent a lot of the class laughing and smiling. Everybody did really well in the exam, by the way, so it's not like this was disruptive. But a couple of things that made it so much fun was review ball. We always played review ball the day before the test, and she would basically throw this plastic ball at us, and whoever caught it, the recipient, would answer a question about history. Well, the funny thing was Miss Mann had the worst aim, and she always smacked us in the face with the ball and apologized with jelly beans. Another thing is that her room is very colorfully decorated with all these artifacts from her travels, and one of them is a basketball trophy that says Coach Patty on it, and that was her nickname. As soon as we found out that was her nickname for the rest of the year, we all called her Coach Patty, and I think she loved it, honestly. She gave us nicknames too. Mine was Potty Mouth, but I won't get into that. I think the moral of the story is I'll never meet someone like Miss Mann again, ever, and that's a really sad thing to think about, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude for the fact that I was able to know her for 2 years and call her, honestly, more than a teacher, but a friend. She was a friend. She was quick to listen, always willing to give a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and she was just so helpful. She took teaching and made it into something that was just so incredible, and I'm just so thankful for her.
I think the thing that I miss the most about Miss Mann is her ability to tell us stories, to teach about different events, because many of the concepts or the events that we learned about in AP World History, they could often be really abstract to us living in the modern age, and her ability to tell stories, to explain those events, really put them into a context that we could understand. And it was amazing how, no matter how crazy the stories would get, she would always find a way to relate it back to what we were learning, and it would really give us an insight into what that event was like.
Hi, my name is Noor, and I am starting my freshman year of college. I had Miss Mann when I was in 10th grade, and I can wholeheartedly say I would not be where I am today without her. Without her guidance, without her mentorship. She wrote me so many rec letters last minute because I was not on top of the college process. She was really just a wonderful person and so supportive, and was just really there for everyone in a way that only she could be. And it's really sad to think that that life and that light was taken from us so soon. And all I can hope is that she has peace wherever she is now. And I just wanted to say, Cambridge, Milton, the world will be forever changed because of Miss Mann.
Okay, so one of my favorite things about Miss Mann had to definitely be her sense of, I guess, reassurance or of positivity even that she had with her, she embodied. So it could have been you could have been stressed or overwhelmed about something, AP World related or not. Most of the times it was just life in general. And you could go to her, or she could just kind of be like, hey, like, what's wrong or whatever, in her usual, like, Miss Mann way. And she would just say something that would make you laugh or smile, or some funny remark that didn't even have to be related at all to what you were talking about. And it would just, like, give you this sense of a reassurance, or, you know, that you were okay, that, like, things were going to be okay, and you could kind of forget about it, or even if you didn't, you would just feel better because she left you with a sense that things were good, and that, you know, you had just laughed it off a little bit. And that was Miss Mann. That was her. That was who she was. And I'm really going to miss that. So if you knew her, that was who she was. And I'm so grateful that I got to know her for that.
To me, Miss Mann was like a teacher like no other. And it was like the classroom that you'd go to if you were confused, or if you're just having a bad day, or if you're having a good day and you just like celebrate, and just something to be like to cherish. And she'd always be there to listen to you. She cared so much about every single one of her students. Like, we would always show each other pictures of our cats. And when I went to a Greek village in Florida for Christmas, I like sent her a picture on reminder of it, because I know that she and I like always talked about Greece and like how much she loved it and stuff like that. And I loved hearing, cut this out, okay? I loved hearing all of her stories that she taught through stories. She used like, oh, when I went here, I did this, and this is what they do there, and then this, and it just really helped, especially as a world history teacher. But everything she did was because she loved teaching, and not just because it was her job. And I just think that is one of the greatest blessings you can have.
Who was Miss Mann? Miss Mann was a mentor, a leader, a beautiful, beautiful soul. She didn't just love you in the classroom. She loved you everywhere, and she wanted to make sure that everyone was okay. Whether that meant giving you jelly beans or stale candy when you were crying in her class for no reason, which happened more than once. But she just wanted to be there for all of her students. We heard every story about her life, all the trips that she went on with school, just personal trips. She wanted us to learn about the world through her experiences and what she learned along the way. And she passed down those experiences on us. She was Coach Patty. We called her that because of a little basketball statue she had, I want to say from an 8U basketball team she coached for Patrick. She loved each and every one of us. She was one of my best friends. She was there for me through everything. If I was struggling with anything, she'd kick everyone out of her room and make sure that I was okay before letting them back in. She cared. Miss her with all my heart. There's truly no one like her, and I will never meet someone like her again. I will forever cherish all of the memories that I made with her, and read the texts that I have between us, and just learn to live in the moment like she did through her entire life. Breathe in everything that the world has to offer, and just cherish every moment, because you never know when it's going to be your last. She taught me how to live my life, and for that, I will be forever thankful. I love you, Coach Patty. Thank you for all of the memories that you passed down on us, and thank you for making me into the girl that I am today.
I had Miss Mann both as a teacher in AP World in sophomore year and as an advisor for Model UN Club, junior and senior years of high school. And honestly, the most essential Miss Mann memory I have comes from early on sophomore year. And it was an AP World class, and I'm quite the history buff if anyone knows me. And I was answering a lot of questions, and I was getting kind of self-conscious about it, considering I was the only one speaking up, and I was probably being a giant know-it-all and showboat. But Miss Mann steps in and says, hey, I was better at history too, it's okay. And that just shows her energy, her kindness to students, her humor, and honestly, just like her most essential quality to me, that she cared so greatly about all of her students and making them feel comfortable.
Hi, I'm Nikita. I had Miss Mann as a teacher, but I got to know her through Model UN. She was the sponsor teacher, but we all like to call her our Model UN mom. And I've had a lot of memories with her, but one of my favorites was when me and my friend Sydney won an award at a competition, and they were trying to get the award ceremony done really quickly, so we went up to go shake the judges' hands and get our awards. And suddenly I heard Miss Mann calling from the back. She ran up and she held everybody still for like 5 minutes so she could just take pictures of us and tell us how proud she was of us. And then when we got back to school, she would proudly display our awards on her bulletin board. And she just had so much love and dedication for her students, and she truly wanted to see us succeed. And I'm gonna miss her so, so much, but I'm so thankful that I got to learn from her and got to know her. And I'm even more grateful that I was able to call her a friend. Love you, Miss Mann.
Hi, my name is Ambuja Sharma. I'm a junior at Cambridge High School, and I had Miss Mann my sophomore year of high school for AP World History. And while I can't necessarily say that I enjoyed every second of that class because she did know how to make those quizzes difficult, what I will say is that I learned more life lessons within those 4 walls than I have in any other class before. And the first one being just passion. She had a pure, raw passion for what she was doing. She was so excited to be able to teach us, to be able to talk to us, to be able to impart her knowledge with us. And I think that that's something that's really rare to find. And being in her classroom and being able to see her light up when we would ask a question, or when she would be able to talk about her trips to Moscow, Japan, Greece, 6 out of the 7 continents, really just exemplified that. And she loved what she was doing so much, and she loved us so much that it rubbed off on all of us, and we were happy to be there. And I think being the fact that I did get to talk to her outside of class and we would have discussions about whatever was going on in the world, she really just loved people, and she loved talking to people, and she loved the world, and she was just so passionate about what she was doing that I really hope that's something all of us can learn from her and all of us can keep from her, because I know that that's something that I will definitely be keeping for the rest of my life.